back to WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. It's football season around here. Luke's getting ready for the Ravens and the Jets this week, and obviously the Orioles hanging out in the pennant race. But kids are back to school. Work is getting normalized. Things are normal with football every Sunday. We're bringing on Lisa Rusyniak from Goodwill Industries, one of our partners around here in our crab cake tour. I mean, I had 34 crab cakes and had 39 breweries. I didn't have one crab cake or one beer with you. We got to redo the tour and have you out one Friday. How you been?
Good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. I know this is a big time of the year for you. I've been talking about kids going back to school and getting ready and family units getting together, but we're not that far from Halloween. Halloween's a big holiday where people think of you guys and coming out and getting themselves together. My wife and I, all year long, we take notes. We're like, all right, we're going to be Wayne and Garth this year. We're going to be the Wonder Twins. What are we going to be? We think, now listen, we think, my son and his wife have talked about this. We think we're going to go as 4 David Bowies, like from 4 different eras, right? Like the Thin White Duke, the Ziggy Stardust Bowie. So we think we're going to do 4 Bowies. And that would probably mean that I need to do some shopping at Goodwill.
Absolutely. Biggest time of the year. Oh my gosh. And you should see our stores decked out already. I mean, look, it's September 6th. It looks like Halloween already.
Are there cobwebs and spiders and jack-o'-lanterns, all that stuff?
Everything.
You know what I learned
Well,
last month driving around, especially getting coffee in the morning, that pumpkin is in like August. You don't need to wait for Thanksgiving or Halloween to be doing pumpkin. Pumpkin starts in July.
I'm not really into all that pumpkin crap, but I will tell you I'm in
Whoa.
Halloween.
Well, I'm down with some pumpkin pie and some pumpkin muffins and stuff like that. Yeah, the Goodwill part of Halloween, you and I did a we met through the Ravens and through Shannon Sharp and Todd Heap and throwing these parties that used to throw every single year down in Arundel Mills. And I didn't know that when I met you. When I met you, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I did do some thrift store shopping for for that holiday back in the day, but I don't think of it as matched up, but I know in your world over the last 25 years it's become very, very matched up as your holiday, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to go buy a pre-made costume, but I mean, when people get really creative, like you're getting creative with David Bowie, I mean, you can pick out, vintage clothing, just anything that you can dream of, you can find it at Goodwill. It's insane what people come up with.
Well,
And now that we're back to somewhat, you know, of a normal holiday, I'm hoping people are going to have lots of Halloween get-togethers and lots of parties, and they're going to come into Goodwill and get some great stuff.
all I remember about Halloween when I was younger was it was always cold and I never had enough clothing on. And one year I went like, I don't know, I went like as Hugh Hefner or something and I did like a robe and I froze. And I'm like, not doing that again. I'm going full pajamas. I'm going, I need to have an outfit that would allow me to walk around Fells Point with something warm on. But I think global warming might be helping that. But people get these skimpy outfits and it gets cold into October. My advice is wear a warm costume and wear one year I did grapes and I had purple balloons and I couldn't get in the doorway. And then you're drinking a little bit and you got to use the bathroom and you realize grapes don't have a zipper. You know what I mean? So like I've had Halloween costumes that have been problematic. I would implore everyone to, be pragmatic about this, do something sensible with your Halloween costume at Goodwill.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember all the costumes that Kevin Byrne wore? I mean, you could just think
He was
about
a
him in your
lobster
head.
one year. I remember him being a lobster.
Yeah.
I remember him being a pirate. I have pictures of him and Sally being pirates, but I missed that party. That party gave me a reason every year to like really focus on this. This year we got this Bowie thing. I don't have a party to go. You got to get a party back together. We need a Goodwill Halloween party again, you and me.
I'll talk to Jonathan about it.
All right, maybe we'll hire some bands. Listen, you said vintage and I said thrift, and we talked about shopping. I was in Canada for a couple of days this week. I found some new belt buckles, but I got a belt buckle that is so beautiful that I have to show it to you. It's really rare because I've been showing these Pacifica belt buckles and you like them, and it's part of our gig now. It gives me a chance to show it off. I got this beautiful Boston. This is one of the rarest belt buckles that Pacifica made. And it's this weird thing. And if you look, it almost looks like it has a mistake on it in here, but that's actually the flying guitar from the album in like a pearl. It's really cool. So that's my boss.
Wow.
And my son liked this one because he always liked Anne and Nancy. And this is one of the more beautiful ones. It's kind of hard to show, but this is Heart.
That's
So
that's pretty.
yeah. So my 70s collection, but this is the type of thing, literally, that a guy like me, that if I was going through neighborhoods, and I saw Goodwill stores on the Eastern Shore. I saw them in Western Maryland. I've seen them all over the state. That if I were going in there, I'd be like, I want to stop in and see if they got any belt buckles. Maybe I can find the. I found the Commodore's belt buckle for $10 in a record store in Conway, New Hampshire last week, and I'm like, yes, I've become a vintage store like person. I've become that guy, and for Goodwill, that's a perfect thing, right? Going because you have stores in almost every neighborhood, and they all have different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a collector, stuff just comes back around. Like back in the 70s, records, vinyl records.
Hmm.
Like, my daughter has no idea what a record sounds like, to be played
She
with.
has never dropped the needle and prayed, is what you're saying,
Nope,
right?
never heard it.
Hmm.
And, now turntables are back and they're
Everywhere.
full. And so everybody's flocking to stores looking through, and we have a boatload of records. You can't even believe the amount of records that we collect because people, are like, who wants to listen to, Carole King Tapestry, right? From what, 1970?
71, I think, right around there. Yeah.
Right? We got it. We got it.
I was in Europe back in June, seeing my wife's donor. I was in Amsterdam. Everybody in my family was sick there. They were all sick. I was out alone. And I like record stores, right? So that's when I'm looking for these kinds of things. I'm usually in a record store, but not records like CDs, because I don't buy records, because I don't have a turntable, because I have an iPod like normal people, or like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. I was in a store, and there was a young Asian couple in there. I believe they were Japanese, and they found a pristine copy of Saturday Night Fever, the actual album. They didn't speak a lot of English, but I saw them. They paid €75
Oh,
for the
sure.
album, and I'm thinking, man, that was $6.99 back in 1977, and they were so happy. Like they had such joy about touching this album and seeing, John Travolta on the cover as you do, and I said to him, I said, oh man, there's a lot of great music in there now. Don't turn your back on all that great disco in there. But it is amazing that all the stores that I've gone into, albums are back now, and if you are a turntable person, you don't need to go Gucci. You don't need to spend $75 on Saturday Night Fever. You can find those kinds of things in your Goodwill stores for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing like listening to a record, right? Remember back in the days, well, you remember this, I know, Golden Ring. So that was like the big mall. My mom and my grandmother and I used to go there all the time. And my mom was like, okay, here's $2. So you can go buy a record. And, buying 45s like in that record store in Golden Ring was
I
like the
remember what
biggest
every
deal.
45 looked like. I
Yeah.
remember the centerpiece, and whether it was Atlantic or Decca or Casablanca, and the way it spun on the 45, and the little. Hey, does Goodwill sell those little plastic yellow things? They didn't discs, I think they were called. You got to have those if you
Huh.
have 45s, right? You got to have one of the little plastic things.
I don't know. I'm sure I could probably find them somewhere else. But in any case, we got records,
Okay.
records,
We get
records.
lots of things. Goodwill Industries of the Greater Chesapeake, they sponsor us. I wear the shirt around here. Lisa Rusyniak is I want to call her the Pooh Bah, but we'll call her CEO and president of all things Goodwill. Give us a little update for your stores and how many stores there are and ways people can be involved in what you're doing. Because I always talk about your jobs programs and putting people back to work, but you guys do so much more than take the stuff in my closet and take it in the back door and turn it into other gems for other people out collecting things.
Right. So, gosh, in about a month, we're relocating our downtown headquarters up to Baltimore Gateway, which is right off 95. It's
Oh,
a
that's my side of town.
business development, yeah, it's a business development
Park,
park.
sure. Yeah.
And we're turning our former headquarters into our Excel Center. And it's all but done. We've got architects in, start construction, daycare, first level, drop in.
Well,
And
your original location's right in the heart. It's a block from where I began my career at the News American at Lombard and South. You guys are right off Redwood, right around the corner from the harbor. I mean, it is. You can't be any more downtown located than where you are located, right?
yeah, and that's where we're putting our new school. And we think it's important. We think that people should be, you know, going downtown, bringing business back. I mean, we've just had such a horrible time in the city with after COVID, getting people to come back downtown. And, I think it's important that our students who, are about to enter the workforce are still around in the environment. I think it's done very purposefully, that we're not tucked away in, a neighborhood or somewhere. We do have career centers in neighborhoods, but we want the school to be downtown, professional environment, getting people ready for work.
Well, I would also say the other thing is when you prepare people there, if they're used to coming to that neighborhood, there's lots of jobs. I live in that neighborhood. That if they're used to coming downtown and find their way downtown, and look, I talked to Wes Moore last week about transportation issues in the city. We had him on for an hour over at Costas's the finale of our crab cake tour last week. So I would encourage everybody to listen to that. We also have Mickey Coachella for some comedy and Pam Wood talking about the elections from the Baltimore Banner. But in talking about jobs and people finding their way to a job and finding transportation where your Excel Center is located, there will be jobs within 4 blocks of that location for everybody that comes in. And I'm sure you're seeing some success stories as well here on the post end of COVID, that every day somebody's coming out of your place and getting employed and working their way back into the workforce.
Absolutely. And that's what we want. We want them to get into those middle skilled jobs. They leave with a credential. You know, my favorite story is, we have this woman who came through a pre-apprenticeship program. She's probably 4.5 feet tall. She's a roofer. She's building roofs all over Baltimore.
Well,
Seriously. She
Bill
found out
Cole's
about
one
this.
of our sponsors, Cole Roofing. He always says, "I can teach you how to do this job." If you're willing to work and you're willing to be honest, you're willing to show up, put a day's work in, we can teach you how to do this. And I don't know that a lot of businesses don't have that, but I think yours is certainly a step up in where you are to prepare people for any job in any sort of circumstance. Outside of what might be their comfort level when they first come to you. In the same way that I've never been on a roof, but Bill Cole convinces me that I could learn to be a roofer in a couple of months if I came in. Apprenticeship, literally learning how to do this.
Learning how to do this. And the greatest part is that she gets all choked up about it. And she takes her 7-year-old son over to this building she's been working on. And she says, I was part of this development. I helped make this building.
Look what mom did.
I know, right?
Lisa Rusyniak is here. She is from Goodwill. Tell her, give me the elevator speech for what Goodwill is, because I think everybody passes the stores and they know. I always have my little truck. By the way, I have this is the best prop. Everybody that sees me hold this prop up, they're now giving me new props. They had the Restaurant Association, Wise Market says, we want you to hold the scooper up like you do the Goodwill thing. But you guys give me the truck, and we talk about giving. Most people know of Goodwill as I buy things there for Halloween. And when I have a closet full of stuff to give away to less fortunate folks, to give it a second home, they give it to you. But you guys do a whole lot more than that.
Oh yeah. And I think we're more than a charity, because we don't want to be known as a charity. We want to be known as a nonprofit that helps lift people up, and gives them the tools and the skills that they need, to lift themselves up out of poverty. So all the money that we get from our stores, we turn it into programs that help the community. People who get laid off from their jobs, they may need a new skill. They got dislocated because their business decided to go automate or something like that, and they just need to build some new tools. And so all the revenue that we earn from the stores, we turn into programs. We help people get jobs. It comes back full circle. It's great for everybody. They're now taxpayers. They're, I think more importantly, they have this dignity that they're earning their own paycheck. And then they're out buying cars and out buying houses, and they're doing stuff, and they're all very independent. And that's what we're about, because we want to get people to that point that they can be self-sufficient.
I love the story about the lady with the 7-year-old child and saying, "That's my roof up there." I'm gonna remember that when Lisa Rusyniak is here. She is from Goodwill. They're doing great things and open for business for Halloween. Don't do what I do. Don't wait till October 28th and have the kid yell, "Did you get your David Bowie thing together yet?" No, do it now. Get on out. Make sure you're donating. My wife has a whole closet full of stuff. I am gonna need that truck here. Spring cleaning turned to summer cleaning, and the last I checked, looks like it's fall outside the window right now. You can learn more about everything they do at the Goodwill and our friends at the Greater Chesapeake, I should say. And of course, I always retweeting things and doing all that. All right, last thing for you. I found this Commodore's belt buckle. This is an actual thrift job. This is not a Pacifica. This is a little bit of a knockoff. But I've been collecting these things, and now I have somebody to show them off to. So I love when I have you on the show. I knew when this Boston one came in that I was going to be like, I'm going to show that one to Lisa on a
I
second.
can't believe it's gorgeous.
Anytime you want to borrow it, don't mess it up. Don't ding it up. But if you need it for a special occasion, for a concert, for a group outing, a brewery, or a vineyard of your choice, I'll have it on. And I hope to get you out for the Crab Cake Tour. Now we're getting together. By the way, Crab Cake Tour next Friday. We're kicking things off before the home opener against the Miami Dolphins on Friday. We're going to be at Union Brewing. We're going to be having the local oyster crab cake, and I'm really looking forward to being in the center of the city and getting Adam Benish on the program as well, talking to all sorts of leaders. Lisa, hang in there. I'll get back with you before Halloween, and I don't know whether I'm Ziggy Stardust or whether I'm the Thin White Duke or whether I'm the Modern Love David Bowie. We're all going to, fight that out, but we are going to have 4 David Bowies in this household
That's cool.
for Halloween. So it's my son's idea. He thought the face paint with the the bolt across the front, that would be fun for him. So I think he's going to be that.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, Lisa, congratulations on getting XL. By the way, XL opening in your Redwood location first of the year, or how long these remodels take?
I think it's probably going to be closer to the summertime.
Okay. All right. So it's a full thing, right?
It's a full thing.
There's a lot of things going on. Well, good luck in your new home over on my side of town, East Baltimore, over in the Heights, as we'd say, 95 and 895, where they converge right there at O'Donnell and Boston Streets as well. I'll get you back on. I got some new belt buckles coming, and you'll like my Fleetwood Mac next time, all right?
Oh, can't wait.
There you go. All right. It's what dreams are made of. She is Lisa Rusyniak. She's from Goodwill Industries of the Greater Chesapeake. She is our friend, our sponsor, and, of course, CEO and president, making sure things are running the right way and making sure that I get the right size truck here when I eventually donate all my stuff. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. Luke's at camp. Luke's at Camden Yards. Football season's kicking off. Trying to have some fun around here as the kids go back to school. We are BaltimorePositive.com.